Hello, Professor. I will be presenting two general education competencies. The first one is critical thinking, is ability to analyze and interpret insightfully and in depth. One of the evidence to provide these claims is an assignment that I did for my oral communications class last semester. This is the outline for it. We were given a current events during that time, and we had to choose a topic or title for this, and my topic was Stefan Clark. The general purpose of this assignment was to persuade the audience. We had to provide a thesis that takes into account the complexity of the issue. My thesis states changes should be made regarding police officers muting or deactivating their body cams during the investigation. I will now go in depth of the background information of what happened during that time. In my introduction state, on March 18, 22-year-old Stefan Clark was shot 8 times in his grandmother's backyard by 2 Sacramento police officers. Police officers responded to the call of someone breaking car windows and spotted Clark. Police believe Clark was raising a gun, but he was unarmed. I then evaluated the viewpoints of this topic of this event. And my first viewpoint was the problem. I provided 3 supporting materials from articles that I researched this information from. The first material states that 2 officers who shot Clark muted their microphones several minutes after. The second one is Monday's release of more than 50 videos and 2 audio clips. Several more officers who arrived in the minutes after the killing being asked to mute their cameras or decided to disable them in their own occurrence, not previously disclosed. The third material states the muting of the cameras stoked suspicion among community members. My next viewpoint is the solution. I also provided 3 support materials for this viewpoint. The first one states Sacramento police have issued their first written policy on when officers can turn off body cameras. The second, the policy was in the works before Clark's shooting, but his death motivated the department to issue the guidance more quickly, said police spokesman Sergeant Vance Chandler. The third support material states the policy said employees shall not deactivate or mute their cameras until investigative or enforcement activity involving a member of the public had concluded. Officers can turn off their cameras while dealing with a victim of sexual assault or if the supervisor instructs them to do so. They can also turn off the camera's equipment if a victim or witness is chosen to provide a statement on camera. The situation is non-confrontational, or when speaking to a doctor, nurse, or paramedic. I then drew a logical conclusion and identified consequences and implications. My conclusion states the muted police body cam sparked outrage, suspicion, and criticism after the fatal shooting of Stefan Clark. Moving forward after the shooting of Clark, the reforms and policies are being pushed. I also provided a reference of the articles that I put in my support materials and the outline. The second competency is informational literacy. It's the ability to identify, retrieve, evaluate, organize, cite properly, and use a wide range of resources. I will provide a paper that I did for my criminal justice class last semester. The topic was about the wrongful imprisonment of Ricky Jackson. In this paper, I retrieved information and investigated methods such as articles, journals, which I will provide towards the end, and I cited these sources in my paper as well. The purpose of this paper was to tell Ricky Jackson's story of his life before and after his imprisonment. I will now read the introduction to provide a background of this event. An 8-year-old Ricky Jackson was convicted of attempted murder and robbery in 1975. He was sentenced to death. On May 19, 1975, in Cleveland, Ohio, Arnold Frank was outside of a convenience store when two men demanded money from him. One man clubbed Frank with a pipe and splashed acid in his face, while the other man shot Frank in the chest twice. They stole $425 from his briefcase and fled the scene in a green car. Ann Robinson, co-owned the convenience store, was shot in the neck and survived. A week after the incident, police obtained a statement from Eddie Vernon, who was 12-year-old at the time. Vernon identified Jackson as the gunman and 17-year-old Ronnie Bridgman as the man who splashed Arnold Frank with acid. Soon after, Ronnie Bridgman's 20-year-old brother, Willie Bridgman, was identified as the getaway driver. The prosecution case relied heavily on Eddie Vernon's testimony. Jackson and the Bridgman brothers were convicted of murder and sentenced to death by electric chair. The sentence was then reduced to life after 1977 when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the Ohio capital punishment law was unconstitutional, and Jackson had later entered Southern Ohio Correctional Facility as a regular inmate. In this paragraph, the first paragraph, I provided sources that explain the specific purpose of this paper. I will read the first paragraph. In Trust Memo, a Cleveland magazine published details about the case, sharply pointing out that Vernon was paid $50 by Ann Robinson, her husband, to testify at the trial. Kyle Swainson, the reporter that wrote the article, tried to obtain an interview with Vernon, but he refused. Later, Vernon confirmed what the pastor stated in the article. Edward Vernon told me that he lied to the police when he said he had witnessed the murder in 1875, and he had put 3 innocent men in prison for murder. His pastor later states he told me that he tried to back out of the lie at the time of the lineup, but he was only a child and the police told him it was too late to change his story. This is the reference of the sources I provided in that paper that helps support my purpose of the paper and the information that I had put in the paper. In conclusion, I provided evidence to show my ability for critical thinking and information literacy.